Cassidy using the body well, over to Sterrett, half forward, out wide to Wilson. Wilson dummies, he'll have time to steady, second dummy, steadies under pressure. Peter Wilson, another goal in 2 goals inside of a minute to East Fremantle.
Well, East Fremantle's quarter, as you saw, and Ron, you had a lot of runners in that quarter. I thought Peter Wilson gave a lot of life, and he was in. The other players caught on to what he was doing in the running, and Brian Needle finished it off.
Well, Peter sets the example for enthusiasm. He just loves his football and gives it everything. And people like to see that happening. You know, teammates follow the example. And the players wanted to get it down to Brian to ensure his 150th game. And they certainly did that in fine style, and he capped it off brilliantly.
He certainly did. Les, you seem to lose ruck control in that quarter. Craig Nelson off the ground, and Harding and Nolan were taking over.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt about Paul Harding's ability. You know, he's a top ruck, and you know, Nolan himself did a good job yesterday, I thought. You know, our two fellows are probably inexperienced, but they're learning, and we're hoping for big things from both of them next year. And as you said yesterday, possibly when the pressure did go on, they did get beaten.
Well, West Perth tried hard, but we'll see in the fourth quarter highlights how East Fremantle actually went on and won the game.
Just over the 50-metre mark.
Long kick for him back against the breeze. Let's see what he can do. Well, he's got a fair distance in towards Nelson in the square. Nolan from behind gets it down to Keys. Out of trouble. Out towards Fields. Neville Fields, good use of the body there. Breaks clear. Fires that hand pass, but it's taken away by Warwick. Warwick in towards the full forward area. Avery, good mark.
Good solid mark there from Peter Avery. A mistake by the East Fremantle defenders. Paul Mountain on the bench waiting to come on, but Peter Avery is about 14 metres out directly in front. Should not miss this one. He's kicked 2, and West Perth could be right back in the ball game. They're 4-2 behind, and Peter Avery made the most of every opportunity today. That head right over the ball, but he hasn't made any mistake with this one. And 6 points.
Damon, nice long kick. Fotheringham from behind. Brennan gets it away to Turco. Turco out wide to Renstead. Murray Renstead wore out, even wider again, out looking for Needle. With him is McGovern. Needle's got it. Looks for Sterrett at half forward. Oh, nice little bit of a nudge by Ray Holden at the right moment there. In the back pocket, Billy Jones hooks a nice hand pass to Needle. He runs around an opponent in Hendrickson, slams it straight through.
Well, if you wanted a sealer, I would say that was it. And a very happy Brian Needle, celebrating his 150 games today, and that's his 6th goal.
Neville Fields it is, in fact, over to Cassidy now. Out wide to Kickett. Kickett goes on with the game. Neat little chip shot. David Rankin, right centre wing, over the top to Billy Jones. Jones is on his way to goal. There's been a lead from Needle, but meantime there has been a free kick given to Brian Needle. McGovern had hold of him when the ball was 30 or 40 metres away.
Yes, apparently that's what happened, because players were clear. They were the only 2 players in it, and McGovern decided to apparently hold Needle while the ball was more than 10 metres away. And now Brian Needle coming up for his 7th goal.
What sort of a game is he having? Fantastic.
Boy, what a return to league football today. I remember this one. He's kicking towards the southern end. Can he make it 7? I think he can. And if you wanted a sealer, that certainly would be it. 7 goals to Brian Needle, and the scoreboard reading 15-17 to 10-13 in favour of East Fremantle.
Nolan from behind. No clear one. Warwick spins out of trouble nicely. Up towards Mountain in front. One-handed attempt. Shane Fitzsimmons read it beautifully. Runs onto his correct kicking bird, and he steers it through beautifully. And Rankin is away towards centre half forward, and an easy mark taken by Neville Fields from the 50-metre line. Very neat looking drop punt from Neville Fields. That is a lovely goal.
Yes, a great goal from Neville Fields, right on the siren. Great win here at Leederville Oval to East Fremantle to keep them still in the 4.
Well, there you can see the quarter-by-quarter scores. A very even first half, but East Fremantle went away in the 3rd and went on to a very good victory in the 4th quarter. After this break, we'll have some more football highlights. Well, it's a welcome now to Brian Needle, the leading goal scorer yesterday with 7 goals. Congratulations on your 150th, Brian. I suppose you thought you'd never get there. 147 at the start of the year.
Yeah, it's been a hard road, but I've enjoyed it.
You've mainly played in defence, but I see you've kicked 65 goals for East Fremantle, so you played centre half forward on occasions, haven't you?
Yeah, I've played sort of centre half forward. I started football in the forward pocket, changing the ruck, believe it or not. But I have played a few games in the forward line.
A lot of support out there yesterday.
Yeah, it was really good. You know, the amount of support the younger players sort of showed was really good.
Les, you haven't had a good season, but you've picked up a few good players here. Nelson and one or two others out there which could go on with it.
Yes, we got a good set of young fellows. Mel Bennett, Craig Nelson, Dean Warwick, Wayne Damon possibly will come on, Dean Faulkner. So hopefully those players next year will develop into real good players.
And do you think Dennis Cometti and the directors would agree that there has to be a stock take perhaps after the next Saturday?
Oh, no doubt about that. There's certainly some players are going to have to make up their mind whether they really want to play league football, I think.
Ron, you've picked up some good youngsters, Renstead and Tebby in the back line. Forgotten his name.
Brennan.
And two or three others. And you've got bonuses now with Turco and Fields coming good and Green.
Yeah, Needle didn't do too bad either.
No, he's only 28 though.
Yeah, that's right. He's only barely out of nappies. But that's right. Things are coming right at the right time of the year. It's going to be very difficult to pick a side next week.
Will you get a game?
I don't know. It's a bit doubtful at the moment. But I've got one vote anyway.
As captain coach, you've found it harder than you thought it would be?
It's easy when you win and difficult when you lose.
You copped a lot of flack early in the year.
Yes, we copped a lot of flack, but I think I said that once before. It was mainly from uninformed people. People at the club knew what was going on. The players knew what was happening with the new players coming into the side. A lot of our young players have got good experience because we've had a lot of close games, and that's hardened them. You know, they've gained experience quickly because we've played a lot of tough games, and that's helped enormously.
There's advantage you being out there on the ground as captain coach, and next year will you continue out on the ground?
I'll continue next year, yes, but there's been a lot of other advantages. There's some of the senior players have been coming to the party with helping out the young players. Jeff Cassidy been taking players for goal kicking practice, and you know, Brian around the place, and Stephen Green and Neville Fields. Those players have contributed too.
Brian, the new name of the Sharks down there, I want to congratulate East Fremantle the way it's caught on, and you can't market an Old East. It's gone well with the players?
Yeah, it's gone down really well with the players. You know, it's something that's sort of it's given us a bit of extra life around the place, you know, with the younger players, and that. It's something they can sort of recognise in future years.
And do you think they'll rise to the occasion next week against East Perth?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no worries.
Even without your captain coach?
Yeah, well, that depends to be seen whether he gives himself a go or not next week.
Les, the same applies to West Perth with the Falcons. I was talking to Rod Brown last night and said he had a little bit of trouble over there, but I agree with the Falcons. It's a good emblem. You can market it.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, I think it's really caught on now, and most people of the older brigade have accepted it now, and yeah, it's something different.
You've achieved 200 games, premierships, captain. What else is left for Les Fong?
Not a lot. I'll just play out first in my contract at West Perth, and that's a couple of years to go, and by that time I think I'll probably be ready to retire.
Saddle up again next year?
Yes.
Ron, you've had virtually 3 semi-finals over the last week, so probably the players are blooded for next week's game.
Yes, that's. I feel like we've played a lot of tough games. We've played a lot of semi-finals. We're just about used to finals pressure at the moment, but we're not underestimating East Perth. And, you know, we'll be doing all the right things this week, and we'll be approaching the game in a very determined fashion.
Be a bit of ballyhoo and build-up down there during the week?
I'm sure there will be from the other side of the fence. Out on the Oval will be all business.
You've got a panel show on Thursday night too?
Panel show at 7 o'clock Thursday night, and we've had great support from the members down there. I'm sure that they'll turn out this week to give us every support. You've
had a lot of injuries. Quickly, will your injured heel be right for next week?
If I was a betting man, I'd say no.
You'd say no at this stage?
Yeah.
Oh well, that's bad luck for East Fremantle, but never mind. They won it yesterday without their captain coach, and perhaps they can do it again next week. It's going to be a great game down there at East Fremantle Oval. Well, we've got some little highlights here for you, and the first one is a miss of the day. Have a look at this one.
Too slow. Good tackle by Jones that time. Kick by Campbell up to the right full forward pocket. Managlia all by himself inside the 50-metre line. Pretty tight angle. Avery shepherding. It's hit him in the middle of the back, I think, there.
Yeah, hit him right in the middle of the back there, and looked like a certain goal there at one stage, but that was certainly the miss of the day. And have a look at this one. This is the mix-up of the day.
Centre wing, not a good kick. Stephen Green in front. Not kicking well. There's a new player. Young Bradley took a heavy bump.
Players getting mixed up together there, and I'm sure Ron Alexander will be very pleased with that one. And the one coming up now, the bump of the day.
The nudge there went unnoticed. Allows Renstead in. Over to Max Johnson. He'll have to hurry as Damon takes him to ground with a good solid bunt.
Well, Max Johnson had a stomach complaint at half-time. I don't think that would have helped him. And the final one features all East Fremantle, the player of the day.
Just going on to the time on period. East Fremantle 4-4, West Perth 2-5. Renstead fires a nice hand pass out there to Jones. Towards half-forward Sterrett. Well shepherded Ray Sterrett by Wilson. In towards Needle. From behind, Muggavan off the top, beating everybody. Muggavan reading it well. Kickett's got him. Good play by East Fremantle. Cassidy. Nowhere to go. He's won it again. Good play, Jeff Cassidy. Here's Wilson backing him up. What can Peter Wilson do to Graham Kickett? Into the square to Needle. And there's another one to East Fremantle.
Well, Ron Alexander got a big smile on his face there, and I'm sure he'd like to see that happen many times next week at East Fremantle Oval. Well, next we've got coming up the contenders for the Town and Country WA Goal of the Day and the Ian Diffin Mark of the Day.
Deep in West Perth's attacking zone, Duckworth from behind Comerford, down to Fong, a chance for Les Fong, right full forward pocket, Spear, good one if he can get it. Oh, lovely goal, what a beauty. Up towards Bennett, playing kick behind the play, over the head of the pack, Managlio on the run towards goal, shoots for goal from about 50 metres out, that's a lovely individual goal. Billy Jones to centre half forward now. Chance for Bradley, but from behind, good save mark there to Campbell.
Falcons attacking zone. Good hit out by Bennett. Chance for Fong. He's in the pocket. He's kicked one from here up the opposite end. There's another one towards full forward. Is it another one? That is! But away will go the Falcons through Cronin. Long one to full forward looking for Avery and finding him.
Over the top goes to Shane Fitzsimmons on the ground now to Comerford. Closing on the 50-metre mark, pretty tight handle, up long towards Avery. Comerford's kick, oh, it's been touched. That'll be a great goal. Oh, what a beauty.
As Peter Keys takes the kick into play.
Not a long one, but it's out towards Ellis from behind. The big fella, Paul Hardy.
Breeze still pretty strong, blown to the right. Needle in there grabbing it. Having a quick shot from Brian Needle. And he put it through from 4 points. He's been a valuable player down there.
They're 14 points behind and kicking back into the breeze at the moment. Oh, left foot kick by the look of that one. Not such good kick, but over the top, Shane Ellis in a lovely mark. Over to Sterrett, half forward, out wide to Wilson. Wilson dummies. He'll have time to steady. Second dummy. Steady's under pressure. Peter Wilson, another goal.
Some great goals and marks there at Leederville Oval yesterday, and only remains for me to say thanks, Ron. Best of luck next week. Les, better luck next year with your West Perth and your career, and thanks also to Brian Needle. Peter?
OK, Bob, thanks very much. Les, just before you go, with our compliments and Cecil Brothers, there's a voucher for you to take in and purchase a pair of track shoes, I guess, for some pre-season training for 1984. But congratulations on your performance and that milestone you reached at Bassendean a couple of weeks ago. Well done.
Thanks, Peter.
Look forward to having you back with us next year. And as Ron said, there's a panel show down at East Fremantle Oval next Thursday night at 7 o'clock for all East Fremantle members. And no votes today, of course. We're in secret voting as far as the Channel 7 Footballer of the Year is concerned. But, Bob, now what about some Sandover medal tips?
Pretty hard, Peter. I've got a big list here. I think it'll be won by less than 20 votes because it's evenly spread over a number of teams this year, and I don't think any particular player stands out. The three I'm going for, and I've narrowed it down to these three, Stephen Malaxis. Number one vote. I know he's in the top team. I've seen him play some great games on this year. I can only go on what I see. Peter Spencer, been on the side that had a lot of struggling players standing at each week. Number two. And number three, I'd go for Don Langford. Had a lot of kicks. Picks up lots of kicks, whether he's under the umpire's eye and whether he does them good enough, I don't know. And Brad Hardy on the outside, I would say. That's my tips.
Well, Brad Hardy's on the outside at the moment anyway, until Monday night. Wayne Harvey's tips, incidentally. Wayne working with Bob yesterday. Let's have a look at who Wayne thinks is going to win the medal. There it is, sticking with the old tradition of the Tigers. He goes for Steve Malaxis from Brad Hardy and Brian Cousins. More on the Sandover medal as we go through the program today. And just before we take a break, a reminder once again, $69.99 is the price of the cassette of that state match WA against Victoria. And that's available from TBW or from video outlets in Perth. And as I said, priced at $69.99. After this break, East Perth, Subiaco and Percy Johnson.